Welcome in to the Tour de Shrug cycling podcast for our recap of week 2 of the Giro D'Italia, stages 10 to 15. We had some breakaway stages, breakaway battles, some GC days, some theoretical sprint stages, and a time trial. It was an interesting week of racing, but whether my guests will think so is completely another story. I'm Luke Padilla, and this is the Tour de Shrug cycling podcast. Before we get into introducing my guests and the recaps and all that, I just really quickly want to address an Instagram post I did about a week or so ago, because the reactions from my friends and family compared to the reaction from the cycling community is hilarious, and it highlights my entire situation here. So I posted like a short reel where I was pretending to be Patrick Bro from the Lantern Rouge cycling podcast, which I'm a massive fan of. And I was pretending to be him as a sleep paralysis demon. I told my wife I was doing this. She looked at me like I was a crazy person. All of my friends and family who have seen it, who've reached out to me, were like, what in the name of God is this? Literally zero people in my life understood the reel at all, which makes sense. But the flip side of that, the reason I'm bringing this up is because the flip side of that, it has gone like kind of crazy in the cycling community. It went nuts. 50,000 views so far. This is great. So I just want to say, thanks to my fellow cycling nerds for understanding me with this one. I appreciate you. And shout out to the Lantern Rouge Cycling Podcast for being good sports about it all. So anyway, enough of that. Let's introduce the guests so we can get recapping this week of racing. So yeah, joining with me today are my sister, Marta, and her daughter, my niece, Abby. Happy to have you guys, you're both of you with me today. Thanks for joining me.
Yeah, excited to be here.
This is going to be funny. Abby, how you feeling?
Feeling great. Feeling awesome.
I will say none of my guests so far have been interested in cycling, professional cycling in any way. And that's kind of the point. But I was telling Erin, my wife, the other day that I would be willing to bet that Abby by far has the least interest of anyone who's been on the podcast so far. So that's
I would say that might be true.
Yeah, all right. Fair enough. That's going to be great. But yeah, I also feel like both of you have either like done or been around most sports or activities in your lives, but cycling is not one of them. Is that fair?
Yeah.
True.
No.
Yes.
No. All right. Well, new horizons. Abby, you do like so many different things though. What are like your sports that you're kind of into?
I play soccer, gymnastics, and track.
Yeah, I feel like it's like that and then like a million other things. I feel like every time it's always something else, and it's crazy. But you're you're super into gymnastics.
Mm-hmm.
Marta, you are a field hockey player, correct?
Yep. Played field hockey in college lots of years ago. But I did just start playing in like an adult league. We just pick up. We play like once a week.
That's
fun. Been fun. Yep.
That is really fun. Man, yeah, that's like need more of that all around. Adult pickup leagues. All about it. Okay, but you both have like a pretty good understanding of gymnastics, right? So we're going to kind of incorporate some gymnastics into the recaps as much as we can. But let's first establish your cycling knowledge, or lack thereof cycling knowledge. So how confident would you say you are in your knowledge of cycling on a scale of 1 to 10?
10 being the most confident?
Yes, 10 being the most confident.
I'd say I'm pretty low. I'd give it maybe like a 3.
Okay. That's pretty good.
That might be generous. That might be generous. Maybe a 2.
Abby, what do you think?
I might have to give myself a solid 1. Not 0, because I do know that they ride bikes. So that's like a point. Yeah. That's 1 point. It's pretty good.
That is 1 point. Hey, I appreciate the honesty. All right, so I'm going to ask you a few questions then to establish your cycling knowledge. Starting it off, in a theoretical world, this would be a relatively easy question, but you never know. So what would you say? What's a peloton?
We talked about this.
I know this one.
So,
I know this one.
All right, go ahead.
All right. So I made a guess while watching. A Peloton is like one of those like electric bikes that like people ride to like not be fat anymore. So I'd say the Peloton is like the people who aren't good. It's like the back of the race because they need like that extra little boost, you know?
Okay.
I thought the Peloton was like the big group, like in the back or like in the middle.
Yeah, because they're
for
big.
Sure. My gosh, the Peloton is, yes, it's the big group of riders. It's and the Peloton can be in the front of the race. It can be in the back of the race.
I didn't know that. I thought it was in the middle.
It's just the big group of riders.
Whoops.
Okay, well, no, that's great. It's a both great answers. I hesitate to ask this next question then. What would you say an echelon is?
Oh boy, the upper echelon are probably the people that are winning.
Wait, a what? A what?
An echelon instead of a Peloton.
Echelon Peloton. Somebody who's by themselves. A small group.
Ooh, those are both good guesses. No, I don't know why I asked this question, because there wasn't even an echelon in the races that you were watching.
I was going to say, I did not hear that word one time.
But it's generally, if there's like a crosswind, the Peloton is like in a big blob, right? And then an echelon is if there's a wind coming like from the side, they have to get like in a diagonal Peloton to like block the wind from the side, is what an echelon is. So not that you would have even seen that. All right, last question. And this is a very topical question, which I'll get to in a second. But do you think the riders just like hold their pee the whole race, or how do they deal with that situation?
I'm guessing maybe they just wet their pants like they do in a marathon when you're running. You know, sometimes it just flows.
I agree with that, because I saw somebody pouring water and I was thinking like, maybe they're getting rid of their pee. Maybe they got to clean it up.
Like so they're pouring water into their like where their pee would come out of area. Yeah.
Oh, that's what you're saying.
So if you put the pieces together, I'm saying they pee their pants.
So we're both of the guesses are that they pee their pants. You know, worst case scenario, you got to do that. I get it. Can you imagine? Like the tights are so are so tight. That'd be so uncomfortable.
So they're very tight.
No, so most of the time they either just stop at the side of the road and pee, or they like while riding just like unzip essentially and just pee while they're riding.
No way.
There's this whole scandal happening right now called Bidon Gate. So bidons are like the water bottles that they have. So this one rider for Team Visma, the yellow team, Victor Campernaerts, had been accused of peeing in the bidons instead of on the side of the road. So he would like pee in them and then like dump it out. I'm assuming, I don't know, at some point, or maybe hand it back to the car. But apparently that's not legal. I guess you're supposed to just pee into someone's front yard.
But why would that matter? That's not going to give him an advantage.
I don't know. I don't know why.
So basically, they're mad because he didn't flash people.
Yeah, they're mad because he peed in a water bottle instead of on the side of the road.
Wow.
So crazy. I don't know why that makes a difference. If you have to poop though, good luck. I don't know what they do in that situation.
I guess you just you got to stop.
You got to hold it in or stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. All right. Well, that was establishing cycling knowledge. It's a good starting point, because there's nowhere to go but up from this situation.
From here.
Okay, so let's get into the recap of first let's just kind of like backtrack and just quickly go over the previous week. So week 1 of the Giro D'Italia. Again, it's the first Grand Tour of the year, so there's 21 stages. It's a 3.5 weeks. The brief recaps of stages 1 to 9. So on stage 5, Alfonso Eulalio, the Portuguese rider, went in the breakaway, got a ton of time, and took the pink jersey by like 6 minutes. That's the overall leader, whereas the pink jersey. On stage... Wow. Yes, see, there you go. On stage 7, Jonas Vingegaard, the overall heavy favorite, took about 3 minutes back on him, and additional time on the rest of his rivals. And then on stage 9, Jonas Vingegaard won again. So he's by far the overwhelming favorite. And then heading into week 2, the expectation was that Jonas would be in pink right after the time trial and then probably win stage 14 and then just be way far ahead. So that's kind of was the expectation. What did you guys, because you obviously, this isn't something that you watch a lot of the time. So what were your expectations watching any of these races or highlights?
Well, first of all, I didn't realize that it was like multiple days. Like we were like, whoa. So we just had no idea what we were even watching. We thought we were just watching one race. And then we realized, oh no, this is like, because we watched the one on Saturday live and then we watched all the other highlights. So at first we thought it was just one race. So we were just like confused.
That makes sense.
I also
Abby, any
thought it
thoughts
was
on
gonna
that?
be one. Yeah, I also thought it was gonna be one race. I also thought it was gonna be shorter. I don't know why they're racing for about 3 hours long. It kind of seems pointless. And I also didn't know they were gonna be like racing just like in the middle of a town. It was very confusing.
Yeah.
Really.
But so how long did you think the races were going to be?
Maybe like 30 minutes?
It's like a 5K, 10K, something like that. All right.
Boy,
No, those are
I don't know.
it's a very peculiar sport, so I get it. Okay, well let's get into the recap of the stages because we have 5 stages that we got to cover. So, wait, 5 stages, 6 stages, something like that. 6
I think.
stages. Yeah, I was like,
yeah.
wait a second. Yes. So, first stage of the week, stage 10 was a time trial. So,
Yeah, I was very confused.
yes, I was going to
So
ask, what is
confused.
it like when you saw the time trial happening? What was that like from your perspective?
I was just like, what the heck is going on? They're coming out of a truck. They got weird helmets on. The whole thing was weird.
Yep,
I was
it's a weird race.
extremely confused. Extremely confused. I didn't get it. And I agree with the helmets. Their helmets are absolutely hideous.
They're nuts. It's all about aerodynamics. And
That
it
is
looks
not.
like
They look like they just picked something out of the dump and put it on their head. They not look aerodynamic.
Oh man. Well, that's why you're not in charge of the aerodynamics of a cycling team, Abby, because it's not all
True.
about style. But yeah, no, to be fair, time trials for me, like I love this sport, and time trials I'm like bored out of my mind watching them. I think they're not very exciting for the most part. But yeah, it's basically like no team tactics. It's who's fastest from point A to point B. This was a very flat time trial. And there's this, so generally on a flat time trial, like the bigger riders that have a lot more like overall power are going to win. Filippo Ganna was the overwhelming favorite for that. And
I wrote that down.
yeah, he won the time trial easily. You wrote that down. Look at that. Taking
Wait,
notes.
how long was the time trial though?
It
Like
was
how far?
40, it was like 42 kilometers.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's kind of long.
Yeah, for a time trial, it's long.
And do they each go like the whole one, like at one at a time? That must take forever. I was
Yeah.
just like, seems impractical.
Yeah, it's like it's like 2 minutes apart, 2 to 3 minutes
Oh, okay.
apart.
Got it.
So that ideally then they are not like catching each other. But
Okay.
still that still sometimes kind of happens.
Yeah, I was gonna say that must.
But yeah, it's a lot more of like you have to be as like small and aerodynamic as possible. The position's super important, and then it's like how good are you over this this hour-long essentially effort.
Okay.
So it wasn't that interesting of a time trial. Filippo Ganna wins super easily. The big thing was though, Jonas Vingegaard, was he going to like take enough time to get into the pink jersey? Because he generally is a good time trialist, but he had a pretty underwhelming time trial. People started saying he was washed, and Alfonso Eulálio holds on to pink. And some of the other GC rivals. So GC stands for general classification. So that's like the overall.
Thank
so
you.
we're talking about like
I
the.
had no idea what
Yes.
that.
Yeah, I was confused.
Totally. So, like we said, so it's not like a one-day race, right? So it's 21 stages, and then the general classification is over the course of those stages, who has the fastest overall time, right? So like if in this time trial, Jonas Vingegaard was like 2.5 minutes behind Alfonso Eulalia. Then he takes 2 minutes on him in the time trial. So now going into stage 11, he's essentially 30 seconds behind him, right? If he takes a minute on him in that stage, now he's 30 seconds ahead of him going into the rest of it. So it's like over the course of these 21 stages, who has the fastest overall time? Does that make sense at all? All right, cool. Okay. So anyway, he didn't go into the pink jersey. People were like, he sucks, he's terrible now. But it was fine. It was not a big deal. But I did want to ask, so the time trial is like a very unique discipline in, like, there's normally like 1 or 2 of them in a grand tour like this. What do you think the gymnastics equivalent is to like the gymnastics discipline would be to time trialing? So like something that's like specialists are like very good at this one thing, but you know, it's different than everything else. What do you think it would be?
I would say
Hmm.
it would be probably like a qualifying meet. Like when you go to compete and then it's like whatever you like place on, then that's like the event you compete in. And it's like only some people make it, you know? I think.
See, I have no idea
I
what
don't
you're talking about. So I feel like this must be
So-
what I'm saying to you.
know.
So like you're competing only one event at the qualifying meet. Is that what you mean?
No?
Is that what you mean?
No?
Is that what you just said?
No, is that what I said? That's not what I meant.
I think so. I don't know.
I meant like a qualifying meet, like just like in general. Cause like then it's like only the people who are like the best or like good enough make it to the next.
But what do you think is the like event that okay, so there's 4 events. Bars, beam, vault, and floor for in women's gymnastics,
not
right?
in order.
Mhm.
Okay, sorry. Which event do you think is the most like niche, like that is harder for people to I don't know.
All right. I'm gonna say vault.
Vault? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like the what do you call the thing where you do the flip? What's that called? Where you do the the round off onto the springboard and then
Are you
flip out
Jenga?
after the vaults. Yeah. That's what it is.
That's it.
Because that's like not a lot of people can do that. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
That's like when you get to be the Olympic level, you know?
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
See, there we go. Now I'm learning things about gymnastics. Okay. So moving on to stage 11, which we'll kind of rattle through some of these stages because they weren't that exciting. This one was decent. It was a 195-kilometer stage, so that's very long.
Very long.
Wait, is this stage 11?
The breakaway fight. This is stage 11. Yes.
Yes.
The breakaway fight was like super difficult. It took about 100 kilometers. So the breakaway is like there's the peloton like we talked about before, and then riders try and break away from it to form a breakaway, which some teams will like only allow certain riders in the breakaway. And then it becomes like, is the breakaway going to win? Is the peloton just going to, you know, keep them at a gap where they can then catch them? So sometimes a breakaway battle takes quite a long time. So did you see any of this stage? You said you watched highlights for this one?
Yeah, we watched the highlights.
I saw 3 people crash into each other and fall. I don't know if that was the breakaway. I just have that written down for stage.
That did. I think that did happen in the breakaway.
One guy was hurt. Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah. They were like, oh, he can't pedal anymore.
Yeah, I think that was when Leonard Van Eytvelt, I think was who it was. Him and Filippo Zana crashed into each other on a descent, which looked brutal. But yeah, they were in the breakaway, and essentially what ends up happening in this stage, it was a cool stage. Like the stage design was awesome. It was like, you know, flat and then a hill zone, and the breakaway didn't form until this hill zone. Once it did, Jonathan Narvaez, who is a very good rider, he'd already won 2 stages. Shout out South America, by the way, because they have won 4 stages in this Grand Tour. Let's go. But yeah, especially in a very European sport, I'm hyped about, you know, that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jonathan Narvaez, he bridges up to the breakaway, and he was just like a mini Tadej Pogačar, who's like the greatest cyclist right now. Johnny Narvaez was just like destroying everyone. If he wanted to get up to the next breakaway, he like could easily do it. And once he got up to the break, it was like, as a viewer, I was basically like, there's a 98% chance that he's just going to win the stage because he's the fastest in a sprint and he seemed like he was just stronger than everyone going uphill. So when that's the case, it's hard to picture anyone else winning. So the only other way that I feel like someone else could have won is if instead of the breakaway attacking each other, they all kind of just like work together, rode to the finish, and then in the last like 2 kilometers, someone attacks. And then the breakaway just like, like they just needed to call his bluff in that type of situation, I guess, and be like, you have to then close it instead of any of us, because being in the front, you're going to be doing a lot more work. So anyway, it was a pretty interesting stage, but what ends up happening, going, like you said, Abby, on a descent, we had some of the riders crash. They crash out. That was rather unfortunate. And it kind of changes the dynamic a little bit. What do you think if you crash going down a hill like that? How do you think would you recover? Would you get back on the bike? What do you think?
I would probably
Well,
get back on the bike and ride down to the nearest McDonald's, get myself a
McDonald's,
six piece.
No, there's like, we're in Italy. Come on.
And, you know,
You got a
like that.
pizzeria. I was wondering that. I was like, are they like getting back on the bike? Like, what are they doing? Are they just
I don't think you can come
continuing?
back after that one. I don't know. That's kind of too
I hope
embarrassing.
they did, because I was like, that's pretty disappointing if they didn't.
Kind of
Yeah,
embarrassing. I
one
was
guy had to
sucked it out.
abandon the race.
Man.
Kind of embarrassing. Is that what you said? It's it happens to everyone, all right?
Yeah.
I got in a crash recently.
Yeah, right.
It is generally better when they like fall going downhill and they just like slide, like they lose a ton of skin, but it's better than like crashing into something and breaking a bone. So that's what it seemed like happened. But yeah, for the most part, ended up being okay, which is good. But anyway, going into the final, Enrique Mas, who is a good climber but not a good sprinter, he gets clear with Jonathan Narvaez, and they duke it out in a sprint, and Narvaez was always going to win that stage. I will say, I thought there was going to be some GC action on the stage, and there wasn't. But yeah, again, congrats to Jonathan Narvaez, his 3rd stage win, 4th for South America. Let's go. All right.
Yeah, I was excited to hear some South American countries in there.
Yeah.
Wait, I have a question.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. What's up? Do it.
Was Jonathan Narvaez the one who said, if you don't have your game, just make your own game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really liked that.
He said that. Yeah. Was it Michael Phelps he said he was quoting or something like that?
No, he said he was quoting a book.
Oh,
but he did talk about Michael Phelps.
That's what it was.
It really reminded me of how some Latinos, like dads or guys, just like make up like random quotes in English. Just like, they don't even know what they're talking about, but they just say it, you know? I thought that was pretty fun.
I don't know what that was about, but it was great. I love it. All right. Any other thoughts on stage 11 before we move to stage 12?
Wait, is that also the one where wait, hold on. Is that the one where the guy was like, and then they told me to go left, but it was the wrong.
Wait, what?
I don't think so. Oh no, I'm kidding.
That happened earlier. That happened earlier in the race where a rider went the wrong way.
No, not like the wrong direction, but just like they were talking about like which corner he was gonna take. Anyway,
yeah.
I was just surprised because I didn't realize how much strategy went into it, and I didn't realize that, like, do they have people talking to them, like telling them what to do?
Yeah, they have like radios in their ear, yeah, and then like their team cars.
Yeah, and he was like, somebody made a mistake. I was like, oh boy, but
it might have been that. It might have been that stage. It's probably all blending together for me too, but I think there was definitely kind of a strategy in the sprint where it's like how you take your line in the sprint makes a big difference.
Yeah.
So it could have been.
Yeah.
It could have been that one.
No idea. There was so much strategy.
That is definitely one. Okay, well, let's move on to stage 12. And we're going to do something a little bit differently here. I realized last podcast, I was like, there are all these stages. I'm just kind of talking the whole time. And I have the way that I recap a stage, but we want to hear how non-cyclists view these stages. So this is the first stage ever where I'm going to have
Boy.
Marta, you're going to recap stage 12 from your perspective. So tell me what happened from your perspective with as much
Okay.
detail or as little detail as you want.
All right. Well, I just realized that what I just said actually was in this stage. So just pretend I didn't say anything, because here we go. Okay. Stage 12, 175 kilometers. Yes. Is that true? I hope so. After just riding 195 the day before, which I was like, that's pretty impressive.
Yep.
Okay. So from what I could tell, the beginning was pretty boring. Not really much was happening. I don't know. There were 6 people at the front of the breakaway. There was a big group at the back, which now I know is the peloton. And then they kept saying something about a Chicameno group. I have no idea what that means. But I was like, what is that? Who are those people? Then somebody got a flat tire, I think. Is that what a puncture means?
A puncture,
yeah, so
yes.
Ben Turner got a flat tire. That was pretty upsetting.
Yes.
Then there was a random sprint in the middle. Like you could win extra money if you sprint for Red Bull, I think.
Yes.
Which
Red Bull kilometer.
Seemed like a nice way to win some extra cash. Then they went through some fields. Then it got pretty bendy, right at the end. And then Alex Saget broke away from Belgium. Is he from Belgium?
I think so.
Maybe.
Most of them are from Belgium.
And at first I thought that Victorious was like someone's name, but then I realized that I think that's the team name. Is it?
Yeah.
Okay,
Bahrain
Victorious. Yeah. So anyway, then Saget ended up winning, and that was the one where Ethan Vernon, he was talking afterwards, and he said that he was told to take the left corner, and then I don't know, that didn't work out for him, and someone got it wrong, and that must have been pretty upsetting. I don't know. So he lost, and Saget won, and Saget was pretty excited, and then he got a box of something and a giant wine glass, and that seemed pretty exciting. And I really want to know what is in that box. Is it a medal?
Ooh.
What's in that box?
It's kind of. I feel like he's got to get a medal.
I have a comment.
Oh, the what?
You have a comment?
No, because whenever they win, they hold the box and the wine glass, or like the teddy bear thing.
Yeah, they get the teddy bear thing. Do you have a comment, Abby? Is that what you said?
Yes. See, so I realized that they kept getting the big wine glass in the box and there, and I was thinking I'll put a piece together, and I was like, they're literally getting Valentine's Day gifts. And then I was thinking, they also, on top of that, they all look like women. Because
no, they don't.
A lot of them look like women. I mean, the guy who won second place in the time trial, I understand, he looks like a woman. I thought he was a woman.
Maybe it's just because they have no hair.
They have no hair. You can't even see their eyes, and they all smile like women. And I was like, so they're just like a bunch of girlfriends riding around on a bike because they don't. They shave, and they get Valentine's gifts. So that was my comment about that.
Oh dear! Oh, I was wondering if anyone was going to fill up the wine glass after the race. That's what I wanted to know. Like some Italian wine. That sounds like a good per.
Yeah, if you win a stage, you should get some wine.
Yeah.
No, that's great, Abby. I love the comment. They are all for the most part very hairless, which comes with the sport.
And they're very sleek.
Yes,
slender.
Exactly. Definitely for sure. So yeah, so that was a great recap. So the chica, do you say the chica Linda or something? Is that what you said?
Chicameno, is that what it's called?
Chiclamino.
Chiclamino.
Yeah, so there's the pink jersey is leading the overall race, but then there's like sub competition. So it's like there's like a sprinter's jersey. So like at the end of every stage, or sometimes in the middle of a stage, there's like points you can get. And if you're winning that competition, you get the Chiclamino jersey is what they call it. It's like dark. It's like purple instead of pink. So that's what they were talking about there.
Got it.
Because the Chiclamino jersey had been dropped during that stage. So that was why.
Okay.
But that was a great recap. Alex Sagart had a great, win. I liked your pronunciation better though. That was great. Because like anytime I say, like, I get the names wrong 90% of the time. So
yeah. Whoops.
you could be saying it the right
Sorry.
way and I could be saying it the wrong way. No,
No
you're good.
disrespect.
I
to
did
his-
want to ask though, do you think when he crossed the line, Abby, I don't know if you have thoughts on this. What are your thoughts on they cross the line and they dismount the bike and they do a gymnastics like final pose? Would that make the sport better?
A salute. You have to salute at the end.
I think it would. I think they have to do like a
Yeah.
little dance, like a little celly, and then like do it.
And then they do it? Yeah. Yeah. Spice
It'd
it
be
up.
a little
Make
bit
it a
more
little bit more.
interesting, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd have something to look for at the end, something to like, oh, I really want to see what they're gonna do at the end.
Yeah, and then there could be, like artistic interpretation. The judges are like, that was a good, there's the points jersey, there's the overall leaders jersey, and then there's like, who has the best, like who's been the most artistically,
Yeah.
creative in their celebration, in the way that they're riding. I don't know.
There you go.
Yeah,
We'll have
that would be
some
good.
judges, some
Nice.
gymnastics judges. Okay, well, that was great. That was a great recap. Really quickly, I'm going to fly through stage 13. Because it wasn't that exciting. But there was another breakaway, versatile sprint stage. The breakaway got a 10-minute advantage in this one, so we knew that they were going to win. And then on the final climb, this rider, whose name is Alberto Bettiol, did his annual. He does this once a year. He channels Matthew Vanderpool, who's a ridiculously good rider, channels his inner Matthew Vanderpool and absolutely torches everyone for an amazing win. And then he goes back into his slumber of not doing anything for the next year. And you're just like, now he sucks for the next 12 months?
He had his family there, didn't he? So I think
did
that
have
was
his
his
family there.
motivation. Yeah.
I guess. Why doesn't
Yeah,
if
I
he
wrote
rides
that.
this well when his family is there, then why
Yeah,
doesn't
he
his
should
family
have
just go?
to every race. That's what I
Yeah.
was thinking.
He had like
He'd
a
be
cute
unbelievable.
little family interaction, little family function, you know? At
Yeah.
the end. It's
That was
Yeah,
cute.
maybe that it was a family function. He was going to be late to it, and he was like, I got to ride fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
We'll have a family reunion I got to get to. Oh my gosh. But yeah, no, it wasn't that exciting of a stage. But it was, a great win. I'm happy for him. Congrats. Whoever wins these stages, he's happy for him. All right, let's move on to the last two, because stage 14 is a big one. It was 133 kilometers.
Yeah,
But it's a
crazy.
multi mountain stage. Did you see like the profile of it where it's just like,
Yeah. Well, I thought it said 127 mountain points. I was like, that seems ridiculous.
it's a lot of mountain points for sure. Because yeah, so there's the Chiclamino jersey that we talked about, but then there's also a mountains jersey. So it's like at the top of every climb, you can get points if you're the first, second, third, whatever it is over the top of it. So then it's like mountain points, and that's the blue jersey. Is
okay.
All these different jerseys, right?
Yeah, I had no idea.
But yeah, so it's a lot of mountains. What I would say is like think of the hill leading up to your house, and then multiply it by 10. And then do that like
Yikes.
3 different times throughout the stage. That's basically
thank you.
that's basically what it was. But yeah, so the race started, and like within 15 minutes, I was 100% certain what the outcome was going to be.
Wow.
But even still, it was a good classic mountain stage. And so here's why I knew it was going to happen. So Jonas Vingegaard, overall favorite. He's one of the best climbers in the world. He's won the Tour de France 2 times. He's great. But his team, Visma Lease Bikes, the yellow team, they, right from the beginning, the people start trying to get into the breakaway, and they just pretend like a breakaway doesn't exist. And they're basically like, we're just going to ride a super hard pace from here to the foot of the final climb. And whoever wants to get in the breakaway can get in it. And when I saw that happening, I was just like, yeah, there's no way. There's no way anyone, unless like the breakaway gets a 10-minute lead, which I didn't see happening. The result, in my opinion, was kind of set at that point. And yeah, so they just hard paced the entire way. A huge breakaway does go up the road with some strong riders, but Visma paces super strong. And there was some memes from this one where one of the Visma riders, Tim Rex, who's like a bigger dude, but he rode for like 30 minutes at a very strong pace. And there were some memes of like the pain faces he was making. Did you guys see this at all?
He was crying.
It looked like he was crying. Yeah.
He was crying. And then I saw, I don't know if it was him, but somebody else was crying from the yellow team. He like he like went like off to the side and started going very slow.
Yeah. Yeah. So like he does his turn and then he basically just pulls the plug and is like, all right, my turn's done and I'm just going to park on the side of the road and take a breath. But yeah, no, he was like, it looked like he was crying. He was like,
Yeah,
yeah,
it was
it was,
not pretty.
he said he said he was seeing stars.
Boy, that's
But it was crazy strong. Like, yeah, just digging that deep is admirable. But anyway, so then the Peloton gets to the bottom of the final climb, which is 16.5 kilometers at 7%,
Yes.
which is basically just a big mountain. Victor Kampenaerts does a big turn. So they're like basically Visma is leading out Jonas Vingegaard. So it's like they have Victor Kampenaerts, then Sepp Kuss, and then Davide Piganzoli, and then Jonas behind. So it's like Kampenaerts will do a turn all out, and then the next guy, and then the next guy. And they're basically just trying to like thin the group out as much as possible and like set as hard of a pace so that everyone else just drops off out of the like peloton essentially, so that by the time Jonas attacks, it's only like one or two people. And yeah, like there was an interview with Victor Kampenaerts after where he does his lead out at the bottom of the mountain. And he's going like, he's obviously amazing rider, going as like hard as he can. He's like, yeah, there's like lactic acid coming out of my ears. And he finally finishes his turn. And Jonas Vingegaard, who like comes up next to him and just like winks and is like, great job, guy. Like talking like he's totally fine. So it's like the level is just insane of Jonas. So anyway, they do the lead out. Jonas finally puts in kind of just like a half attack and gets a gap and looks like he rides to the finish at like 90% effort. So yeah, it was pretty wild. The final climb takes him like an hour going uphill. Can you imagine riding a bike up a mountain for like an hour? Like,
no.
No,
yeah, I
probably
don't know if I
couldn't.
could do it.
I could never do that.
This is also the race where is he the one who like hit someone on the butt and was like, hey man, come. I think it was Eulalio, whatever, that someone like hit him on the butt and was like, come on, come ride with me.
Yeah, he
It's
did
like,
do
what
that.
is going on?
That did happen.
Abby
First,
thought
I
that was
like,
pretty
is
weird.
that abuse? But then I was like, that's teamwork. So I was just didn't really get that part.
Yeah. No, for sure. It was his teammate. So if that makes you feel
there
any
you go.
better, it was his teammate, and he was basically, yeah, he hit him on the butt and was like, "Hey, I'm here for you. Sit on my wheel." And basically, he's trying to pace him up the climb. Is what he was
Yeah,
trying to do.
that's what I was wondering. What does that mean? Hang on my, like, what does that mean? Sit on my wheel, just like ride behind me?
Yeah. So like when you're sitting on someone's wheel, going up a mountain, it doesn't make as big of a difference, but like you're always getting a draft benefit. If it's
Okay.
like if it's on the flat or go like, then it's a massive benefit. Like you're using
Okay.
30 to 40% less energy than the person in front of you,
Okay.
which is massive. And then if you're going, the slower the speed is, the less benefit you're going to get. But
Okay.
even still, on like a 7% climb, you're getting a draft benefit. And if anything,
Okay.
it's like, it's almost like mental. Like
Okay.
there's a mental benefit of like, I have a teammate here who's helping me.
Okay.
So that's kind of
Yeah,
what it
well,
means.
that was pretty nice. I was like, oh boy.
Just a little tap on the butt, like playing baseball. Baseball players, that's what they do. But yeah, any thoughts on the mountain stage? Like Jonas Vingegaard wins. He's in the pink jersey, massive lead at this point, and the race is pretty much over unless he crashes. But like, any thoughts from your perspective on the mountain stage?
I just thought it was crazy. I was like, seems like something that I do not want to do.
Yeah, sure. What if when a GC rider, if like someone like when someone like Jonas attacks, they had like accompanying music, like a floor routine. Do you
Oh
think,
wait, say that again. I didn't have my headphones.
what do you think, Abby? So like, what if like when a GC rider, like when someone like Jonas attacks, like he and he finally puts his attack in and then he has like accompanying music, like it's his floor routine in gymnastics.
That would be good.
Kind of like walk-up
because-
music in a baseball game.
Yeah. Because you'd have like you have like, okay, the music would be like slow, and then while it's passing it would be like a beat drop, and be like very like upbeat, like dramatic music, while he was like passing. I think music
Yeah.
with that would make it so much less boring.
Yeah, you time your breakaway to the beat drop, maybe, or whatever
Yeah,
you call it. I don't know, attack. I don't know what it's called.
exactly. Yeah. You time it to yeah. The other thing I want to ask is it more or less, like from your perspective, is it more or less dramatic given the slow speeds?
Wait, what do you mean?
Like
The
this,
slow?
like when they're going up a mountain, they're going much slower speed, right? Than like a sprint stage or like the one that you did, that's Alex Sagart one, where they're going like 35 miles an hour. This one, they're going like 12 miles an hour up a mountain. But like, is it more dramatic because they're going slower? And it's like, what could happen? Or is it less dramatic for you?
So it's less dramatic.
What do you think, Abby? I was gonna say that Abby kept saying they're going so slow when we were watching it. They're going so slow. Why are they going so slow? They're supposed to be racing.
Oh
So
man,
I
it's
don't know.
yeah.
I think I had more appreciation for the athleticism than my teenage daughter. So
All right. No, I get it. So less dramatic though for
yeah,
Abby.
yeah.
So I get it. Okay, but yeah. So going after this stage, it was Jonas Vingegaard, huge win. Like I said, he is far away in the leader's jersey, and now he's in pink, which is great. But let's
Well, yeah,
head
because
to
this is the one where the other guy gave it back to him or something.
yeah. Alfonso
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Eulálio had to, so he's not in pink anymore. He's in second place still. So let's hope he can stay there. But yeah, final stage of the week, stage 15, a sprint stage. Abby, this one is all you.
Okay. After hearing what my mom said, I realized I did not take enough detailed notes. But that's okay, because we got this. All right. So their trip, I have no idea how many kilometers it was, but I do know that it was to Milan, I think. Right?
Hmm?
But it was very hot. They had to have
And you've
ice
been to
packs.
Milan.
They had lots of ice packs, and when they got to Milan, they had to do 4 laps. Yeah, 4 laps, which seems kind of pointless because you're already there. Why do you do 4 laps? And Eulalio was back in the white jersey because he just sucks, I guess, because he's just terrible. And near the beginning, they passed by a place with like a lot of people who were cheering. I don't know why. Like these people cheer like really loud and like insane. I just don't understand. It's not that interesting. And the sign said Ita Airways. I don't know if that's important, but I wrote that down. And
Cool.
then they went past like a lake, river, ocean,
Yeah.
body of water thing.
Uh-huh.
And they were like all on this side, but there was one guy on the other side, and it said that he was the chaser. I don't know what that is, and I don't know why he was really far away, but that was that. And
I don't
then
know.
people people started to worry as they entered the lawn because it was dangerous. I don't really know why, but that's what the guy said. And then there was a guy who was in the pink jersey was talking to the car of like his team, and he was like he wanted the Jiu-Jitsu battle to start. I don't know what that is. I don't know if they were actually gonna like battle, like fist fight. I don't know. But he wanted to start. He was like trying to negotiate them to start. And then the announcer started to get super enthusiastic. He was like really happy about what was happening. I don't know what was happening, but he was really happy about it. And then they sprinted like really hard at the end, and you could tell because their heads were like going like this. So they're like really into it. And then the winner, who was wearing a red jersey, I don't know his name. He like I don't I don't know. He like got on the floor. And I don't know if he was celebrating or having like a seizure. I don't know. There was like a bunch of people around him. I don't know what was happening, but he was on the floor and like shaking like sad. And then it showed him when he got up and he was like cheering and he had like a little thingy right here and it looked like a heart monitor. And that's all I have.
That's great.
That's all I
It
got for
probably
that
was a
one.
heart monitor. That's a fantastic recap, Abby. I actually appreciate that because I was working during this, so I didn't even get to watch this stage. I just watched like
Oh, man.
the last like 3 kilometers. So that was
You're very welcome.
that was really good. Yeah, no, thank you so much. He was not having a seizure. He was just excited that he won. This is like a life-changing moment, Abby. He's winning the biggest race of his life. This is like he's
Cool.
so excited.
Why,
But yeah, no,
what is the GC battle and why did he want to start?
yes, the GC battle is like all of the favorites and like Jonas Vingegaard, he's in first and it's like top 10, right? So like that's just as an example. Like the GC battle is like those guys who are fighting for the overall win, who are not like gonna sprint for the stage win today. They were arguing that the road surface was not very safe and that they should just like neutralize, like there's not going to be any times taken if a GC rider loses time, right? Because it's like what can end up happening is all of the teams then are fighting for position because the road is unsafe. And then someone will crash and the road is narrow and you get stuck behind a crash and now you've lost like 2 minutes because you're in the middle of a city. So like if instead they're like, hey, there's not going to be any GC times affected, then it just like takes a little bit of pressure off and it's like, all right, you can just ride in the back. If there's a crash, don't worry about it. You're not going to lose time. So that's kind of, I think, what they were arguing for.
That's what they were
Okay.
negotiating.
That's what they were
I understand.
negotiating. It is kind of funny though, because it's like if the road is that unsafe that they're like arguing
Why are you
that
racing
they
on
shouldn't
it?
have any times taken, then like they probably just shouldn't be racing on the road to begin with.
Yeah, that
In
does
my
seem that way.
Yeah.
in my opinion, because it's like, all right,
Definitely.
yeah, like it's a little bit controversial.
Yeah.
But anyway, that whole stage ended up being pretty good. There was a motorbike scandal where the breakaway they were saying was getting a draft advantage from the motorcycle. Welcome back. Sorry, we had some technical issues, but yeah, we had just finished the stage 15 recap. Well done, Abby. That was fantastic. Okay, closing this podcast out, we just have a couple things. First, we're heading into week 3 now. This is final week of the race. There's been, a good amount of pushback for Jonas so far. He's been getting a lot of pushback from, past pros, from the Italian media, lots of other things. People saying he's undercooked undercooked at the moment, preparing for the tour. People saying he's washed. People saying he should be going to the front and pulling all the time. I don't know. You think he has the win on lockdown? What do you guys think?
I think I also think he's washed. I think he should just leave. I think he sucks and I think he has no
I
chance.
mean, he's currently winning, right?
Yeah, no, he's destroying everybody.
So why is everybody saying he's washed? I'm confused.
I don't know. He gets a lot of pushback. He's very different. So there's the Tadej Pogacar is like the best in the world right now, and he's a very like entertaining figure, and he has his strengths and weaknesses with that. But then Jonas is like he's a very quiet, reserved guy from Denmark. He likes to hang out with his wife and 2 kids, and he's just like out of the spotlight. And he races very tactical comparatively. Like Pogacar will just attack when he feels like it and destroy everyone. And Jonas is very much like, I'm going to sit in the wheel and think about what I want to do. And people don't like that very much. So people say
Well,
he's washed because of that.
Sounds like he just needs, like we talked about, just needs some music. He needs some attack music, and then I think everyone will love him.
That's that That is a good solution. I'm going to bring that to Team Visma. If you're listening, Visma, there we go.
There you go.
That's the reason. Okay. Well, every week or every podcast, we have what we call like the shrug of the race. So there's 5 stages here. So there's a lot to choose from. But what is the moment from one particular stage or maybe overall that seemed like a big deal and it's a big shrug for you?
Hands down, the time trials for me. Like, just could not really get into that. Was there anything else? Yeah, that was it for me. What about you, Abby? What do you think?
I would say the time trial, and also there was like near the end, near the end of like most of the stages, people were like getting their autographs, and I just didn't really understand that. I don't know why you would like want somebody's autographs who just rides a bike. It's not that interesting, but
Wow.
that was kind of my shrug.
Man, ruthless.
Leave it to the teenagers.
I know, for real. It's I appreciate what you're doing, professional cyclists. I think that it's
Yeah.
very impressive.
I have to say I do too.
It's tough. It's tough what you do, putting your lives on the line, right? Body's on the line going down the mountain. Okay. Well, anyway, it's everyone has their own opinion, Abby, and that's why I wanted you on the podcast, because I figured you cared about this the least. Okay. Last thing here. Again, tying this into gymnastics. I want to ask, which gymnast do you think would make the best cyclists?
Okay, I would say Simone, just because she's just like amazing. Yeah, she. But I would also say Jordan Childs, because she has kind of like that, like what's the word? Like that energy. Like she's very energetic, and she'd be able to just like keep pushing herself to like keep going up the mountain, you know?
Mm.
Yeah, I was gonna say Jordan because Jordan, I mean, have you seen her legs? She is like 100% muscle. I mean, Simone is too, but Jordan has got some major leg strength. She's a powerhouse. So I was thinking, I bet Jordan could just fly up the mountain. I don't know.
Yeah, honestly, both like any of them would be insane because they're like tiny, so they're gonna go up the mountain super fast, and then they just are like so compact and strong. Like, yeah, they would be unbelievable, world class. No, that's valid. I don't know any of the male gymnasts, but I'm sure they'd be great too. Although they're more like upper body strength. I don't know. I don't know
Yeah.
about it. Flip side of it, though, we've talked a lot about Jonas Vingegaard. Tiny little guy, obviously insanely strong, huge VO2 max, just crazy good athlete. But if he was to do gymnastics, which event do you think he would be the best at?
I
I
would
think I
have
have
to
my I
say,
have my answer, but I want to hear what you think.
I would, okay, he does not have big arms. I just have to say that. But I would have to say bars because their calves, surprisingly, these bikers' calves are really not even that big. Their legs don't even that big. Like I feel like I don't know if they could. And vault, do they even run? They're mostly used to being on a bike, so like the whole running thing really trip them up, you know. And but maybe beam because they do have to balance on the bike.
Oh,
I would say bars are beam.
Yeah, what do you think, Marta?
I was gonna say, I mean, I'd love to see him on a balance beam because, like, who wouldn't? That'd be so fun. That'd be that'd be an adventure. But I was gonna say bars because I think bars takes the most like core strength, and I feel like these guys, I feel like he must have just phenomenal core strength. Whether or not his calves are huge on the outside, they're definitely quite strong. So I feel like he could probably pull out a kip. Abby, what do you think? Yeah, I think so. I bet he could.
Man, no, I think that's great. My first thought was beam because I was like, he must have insane balance.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's definitely not built like a gymnast. None of them are.
Yeah.
When I did gymnastics, I just liked bouncing off of the like the board into the giant pit of foam cubes. That's that was my favorite thing. All right. So
Boy.
that's all I remember. Okay. Well, last question. Are you more or less likely to watch cycling again after this whole experience?
Less likely.
Okay.
Unless I want to be on the podcast again.
Okay. Fair enough.
That's fair. I gotta say, I enjoy watching sports. I like the competition. So I'd probably watch it again, maybe like if I could get into following like a person, if I was like, yeah, I like that person,
Yeah.
you know.
That's what it's always
Definitely
about.
not less likely. I'm not sure that I'm going to go out and like plan my day around it, but
All right. Hey, fair enough. Good stuff. All right. Well, anyway, that's going to do it for this episode of the Tour de Shrug. Again, recapping the what's to come. GC battle looks pretty wrapped up. Jonas looks primed to become. This is the other big thing. He's primed to become just the 8th rider in history to win all 3 Grand Tours. So the Tour de France, Vuelta a España, and now the Giro d'Italia. So that's huge. But you never know. Never know what could happen.
wow.
Huge stages this coming week. They're all going to be pretty good. So people listening out there, make sure you watch those stages. They're on HBO Max here in the States. And yeah, personally, my mission of getting people to care about cycling is still very much in progress, but I still have hope. Crossing the fingers. So anyway, thanks so much for listening. Marta and Abby, thanks so much for being on the podcast. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. And yeah, we'll see you next time for the Tour de Shrug. Next week, we have the final recap for the Giro. But yeah, until then, we'll see you later. Bye.